Dad, I just came back from the future.
So how's the future? Miami Dolphins still suck.
Hey, no, take that back.
What's good, Dolphin fans, and any other fans that might be interested in this, I suppose. Welcome back to the newest video, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. So a little disclaimer, it is thundering pretty bad outside, and this just kind of happens to be the one time I can record this video, so if you hear any thunder or any loud noises, you know, I do apologize. Just, I guess, try to tune out the best you can. But let's get into this video here. So obviously you're seeing with that thumbnail that this is the team that I was talking about in the last video that I think is a very interesting choice for a potential Xavien Howard trade. And of course, that team is the Houston Texans. Now, I don't think this trade would happen this year. I think that's why I wanted to have it as its own separate video, because I think this is definitely a special trade. And to be real with you, it's one that I would be all down for if certain things happen. We will talk about that later in the video. But, you know, let's just kind of go over the details here. So, obviously, Deshaun Watson is the Houston Texans quarterback. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's at least top 5 at the lowest. He really is a star player. Now, despite already signing a big contract, he wants out of Houston. He just doesn't like the franchise. They're probably going to be the worst team in football this year. He doesn't want his career to be ruined, which I understand. But I also understand why the Texans are asking for so much, because they just signed that contract. They don't already want to trade him after doing all that. So keep that in mind, that Watson does already want out of Houston, and that he is an elite quarterback. However, of course, we also know that Deshaun Watson is getting into some trouble lately. I'm not going to go over it just in case it's a sensitive topic for a few people. I do understand. But he is going through some issues, and there's a chance he might not even be allowed to play this year, or maybe even next year. We'll see. Let's just assume that he doesn't play this year only. But yeah, there's just a lot going on with Deshaun Watson, and I will say it's getting to the point where the Texans look like they might be prepared to finally let him go. But that's kind of the Texan side of things. As for Miami, their current quarterback is Tua Tagovailoa. They just drafted him last year, and his rookie season was not the best, not the worst either, really, but he definitely didn't look as good as most people were anticipating. And, you know, before anyone kind of rats on me about the comments or whatever, you know, whatever it is, like, I am a Tua believer. I have a bunch of videos on here that will explain that I do actually think Tua deserves a chance. I think there is a chance he will break out this year. I think it's about 50-50. And the only reason I say that is because, well, despite the fact that I do think he's getting a little too much crap, and I do think the Dolphins should give him another chance, you know, some of the flaws or the potential concerns are kind of undeniably bad about Tua. His arm strength is especially one of them. I think he got away with a lot of picks that probably should have been intercepted. You know, he's a young kid, he's growing, he's learning, he's a hard-working kid. But unfortunately, your personality doesn't always take you everywhere in this world. You know, you kind of just have to be good at your job. So if it turns out that Tua just kind of isn't the guy, then I think this is where this trade gets a little interesting for the Dolphins. So that would be their side of things. If Watson still wants out by then, which it looks like he probably will, and if Tua just isn't quite that guy, then the Dolphins will probably be interested by then. Because this Dolphins team is loaded on offense and defense. Their receivers, Will Fuller, that Watson's also familiar with, Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, this defense, obviously, with Brian Flores. There really is a lot to like about this Dolphins roster. And if you brought in Deshaun Watson to the Dolphins, I think that really does make you a Super Bowl contender, not just a playoff team. I think that makes you a Super Bowl contender. So there's a ton of reasons on why it would make sense for the Dolphins if Tua just doesn't quite work. Now, what Houston is asking for, at first, it was a star player and 3 first-round picks, which obviously that's a lot, and you understand why. Now, perhaps with all the drama going on, they might ask for a little bit less because it looks like they're preparing to let him go. I do think they'll at least want a star player and at least a first-round pick, though. So, we already have a star corner that already wants out anyway. That's where Xavien Howard finally comes into play. We have a corner that is amazing. I love Howard, but honestly, I don't think I actually want to waste all our money on a corner. Even though that is a valuable position, the quarterback is more valuable. And sorry, Xavien Howard, but you know, I hate to kind of put it harshly, but it is a replaceable position, especially with Brian Flores. So I think you guys kind of see where I'm going with this, and I think it can benefit both teams. Here is the potential trade I'm looking at here. Miami trades away a first-round pick, Tua and Xavien Howard to the Texans, and then all the Texans have to do is give us Deshaun Watson. So that way, the Texans now have a star corner, they have a quarterback that they can build around, and they have an extra first-round pick that they can do whatever they please with. And then I know the Texans did say earlier that they're not interested in Tua, but also keep in mind it could be just because the only quarterback they were interested in was Deshaun Watson, you know? So, and then also in a situation like this, they could be looking at it like, well, we kind of don't have much of a choice. At least Tua's a good guy. You know, I can't, you know, I hate to put it that way. I'm not, never mind. Let's not get into that stuff. But anyway, yeah, so I think that actually gives Houston a lot to work with. You still have a quarterback with upside, and even if he doesn't work, you now have 2 first-round picks to where if you really do need to trade up, if your pick's not high enough, you probably can, and you wouldn't have to lose a whole lot. And you get Xavien Howard. Like, that one's just kind of a bonus. Then, for the Dolphins, you get Deshaun Watson. You get an elite quarterback, and I really do think that would transcend this team into being a Super Bowl contender, and probably for years to come too, because Watson is still young. So I don't know, man. Like, again, I'm not a Tua hater. I'm giving Tua a chance, and if he works out, this whole thing I think is, you know, done. Like, you know, forget it. But and then maybe by that scenario we can also pay Xavien Howard. I don't know. Also in this scenario, obviously it means I think Xavien Howard will be a Dolphin this year. But anyway, so let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that's too much? Or do you agree with it? Or do you think the haul is a bit too much? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And I guess until next time, fellas, I will see you for the next one. Fins up.